I am Dr. Beth Lackey. I'm with Knox County Schools, and I'm the Early Childhood Director. We've been using Connect4Learning in our preschool programs for the last 6 years, and this is across all 3 programs. Our blended preschool, which supports peers and students with special needs, our Title I programs, and our voluntary pre-K programs. We love everything about Connect4Learning. I think it's organized in a way that our teachers and our teachers' assistants are able to step in and use it. It's a great knowledge building curriculum that provides students with a lot of rich experiences that build vocabulary. They're building knowledge about the world. They're asking and answering questions. They're solving problems, and they're interacting with each other. I think the strongest piece of the curriculum is what we call the Wednesday lesson or the Day 3 lesson, which is the social emotional learning component. It's tied in with literacy, and then children are learning specific strategies so that if they have problems with a peer, they're able to solve that problem on their own. For example, I was in a classroom and there were 2 children that wanted to use the same puzzle. And there was a little bit of an argument, and the teacher walked over and she said, "Well, what can we do?" And little girl said, "Let's set a timer. I'll use it for 5 minutes." And so the kids resolved that problem. They got the timer. One worked the puzzle for 5 minutes. The other worked the puzzle. And within about 3 minutes, they were actually working the puzzle together. So I think that really is one of the strongest pieces, is that it's building that problem-solving language for children. We're even finding that some of our behavior support folks who work with kindergartners are incorporating our language because those students had access to it when they were in preschool. So that is definitely a strong part of it. I think another very, very strong piece is the wonderful literature that's incorporated into the program. The literature's engaging. Children love to answer questions and interact with the text. We see our teachers use the think, pair, share strategy all the time with the literature, so that they will read and they will ask a question, and students will work with a partner to answer a question and share ideas. I think that's a very strong piece as well. Additionally, the small group pieces lend themselves to a lot of flexibility so that we can meet the diverse needs of our children, because we serve students from age 3 to 5, and we serve children with disabilities. We serve children who are learning English as their second language or even their third language. So we have a very diverse population in Knox County, and this curriculum works really well because it's structured in a way that the teachers can, and teachers' assistants can modify it or change or do what they need to so that the children can interact with the curriculum appropriately. There's also enough flexibility built in so that children who are using the curriculum year after year are still getting new experiences because they're having repeated interactions with text, and also opportunities to practice and build on where they start developmentally and where they need to be. The implementation of the curriculum has really built over time as our teachers have become more familiar with it. And it's very easy to implement. The directions are simple. The organization, the structure of the curriculum is easy to follow, so that a teacher is in her first year or a teacher's in her 31st year can still use the curriculum successfully. And I think some of it is the organization. It's the day is organized very clearly, and each section there's great examples in Connect. They're great small group. Fast focus is really spelled out, and I think that really helps teachers. Additionally, all of the pieces such as center ideas and ways to incorporate writing, and the little pieces in the teacher's edition that have suggestions for students with disabilities or students who are learning English. That was a fabulous addition, which has really helped our teachers meet the needs of their children. Another aspect is that our teachers and teachers' assistants have a planning time each afternoon, and they sit down and they look at the curriculum together and decide which part of small group the teacher's assistant wants to teach and which part the teacher's going to cover. And so they're really able to just sit down on a daily basis and reflect on what their students did and then how they're going to use that information the next day. So we've really found that it's simple to use. And like I said, I think a lot of it is because the entire day is addressed in the curriculum. So that there's large group, there's small group, there's center time, and it's all very well connected, which makes the planning and preparation really easy because it's easy to get immersed in the theme. We're doing dinosaurs now, and so we've got dinosaurs in the sand table, and we're making dinosaurs with a variety of natural and recyclable materials, and we are painting dinosaurs, and we're writing about dinosaurs, and we're using magnifying glasses and flashlights to look at bones so that the teachers are able to just immerse the classroom, which is engaging, but it also makes for a great opportunity for planning because teachers do have that flexibility and creativity within the framework of the curriculum. So just about the centerpiece, I will say that our teachers have worked really hard to make sure that our centers are engaging and learning focused and balancing that with creativity and free choice. And I think what has been beautiful is that we've been able to take each curricular theme and make adaptations so that the centers change with every theme. And so one of the things that we've encouraged our teachers to do is when we have like a teacher's professional day or something, we ask them to redesign a center and then we send pictures. So we have this great bank of ideas. But so what we've done is that, for example, in our fine motor center, it might be that students are using tweezers and little paintbrushes to dig dinosaurs out of the sand. And in the block center, they've turned it into a fossil dig site. So they actually have bones, and then they have blocks that they've arranged, and they're making a museum out of the fossils, and each section is labeled. And so children are making labels for the dinosaurs, or they're using cardboard tubes to build the fossils of a dinosaur, so that they're still interacting in a developmentally appropriate way, and they're still making choices, but it's connected to something that they're learning, which in turn is encouraging them to use the academic vocabulary that they've built. I was in a classroom the other day, and the children were having a dinner party with dinosaurs. And so the dinosaurs were sitting around this little table, and I said, well, what are they eating? And little girl said, well, these are omnivores, so they're going to have lettuce. And I went, oh, or these are herbivores. These are herbivores. They're going to have lettuce because they're herbivores. And I said, yeah, but what about this one? He's got some sharp teeth. Oh, he's an omnivore, but he's not going to eat them because we're going to make sure that he gets fed really well so he doesn't eat the other dinosaurs. So the children are incorporating this heavy vocabulary in these very authentic and natural learning situations, which is really the best way for children to learn. And because it's all in the context of the unit that they're studying, they're getting lots of practice with the concepts. They're getting lots of practice with the vocabulary, and that they're using it on their own, and they're writing about it, and they want to read about it, and they want to explore and create, so that they're doing all of those great learning strategies that they're owning. There's their ownership involved in all of the choice making that still is connected to the theme, which is, once again, allowing for great vocabulary use and great conversation. It's truly one of the most comprehensive curriculums, and we looked at them all. You know, every curriculum has a gap, and we had a hard time finding a gap, right? And we're because of also what our teachers are learning about foundational literacy, they're incorporating those foundational literacy ideas into all of the storytelling and the writing and the reading and all of those pieces. And it's really meets our kids' needs. So we've just been very, very happy. Very, very happy.